Good evening, Miss. I will be presenting the materials used in my portfolio. Teaching materials. The teaching materials used in this lesson provided students with a clear understanding of the key concepts of the lesson. Examples of the materials that are used. In my micro teaching lesson, I used magnet and non-magnetic materials and visual aids. I also used the story to convey the lesson. In my team teaching, I used mini analog clocks and a chart that helped my students to better understand time. Micro teaching. So the first method that I would have used, or the teaching method that I would have used, is collaborative learning. This involves students participating in group activities by allowing learners to work together, share ideas, and support each other. When students collaborate, they engage in discussions, ask questions, and explain concepts to one another. In teaching the lesson on magnetic and non-magnetic materials, students were told the story of Johnny and Sarah, who were on their way to their grandmother's house to bring some materials. While traveling, Johnny accidentally dropped the materials into a river because his pocket had a hole. Luckily, Sarah had a magnet in her pocket, and together they used it to retrieve some of the materials from the river. From this story, the students were placed in groups in which they were tasked to role play the story and also were able to identify the materials that were magnetic and those that were non-magnetic. The next The next method that was used was visual learning. Now, this involves learning about a topic by seeing the information on visual aids. It helps students capture images based on color, brightness, and spatial awareness, and therefore remember what they have learned in the classroom for a longer time. Now, during my lesson, various charts and diagrams were used in teaching the topic magnetic and non-magnetic materials. For example, a chart that categorized materials as magnetic and non-magnetic. This has provided an opportunity for my students to learn the difference between each type of material. In this slide, you see here a picture of the diagram or chart and the materials that were used in teaching the lesson, magnetic and non-magnetic materials. Now, let's move on to team teaching. A method that I would have used to do my team teaching is kinesthetic learning. This involves learning by doing hands-on activities and movement. In this lesson, students use mini clocks to demonstrate their understanding of how the clock works to tell time. This hands-on activity engages their sense of touch, sight, allowing them to learn by doing rather than just passively listening or speaking. The next learning method that I would have used in my team teaching was collaborative learning. Now, collaborative learning involve students participating in group activities by allowing learners to work together, share ideas, and support each other. When students collaborate, they engage in discussions, they ask questions, and explain the concept to one another. In teaching the lesson time, students were placed in pairs to analyze clock samples and identify the correct time displayed on each clock. They also explained their reasoning, justifying their choice of time. On this chart, or rather on this slide, we have a chart demonstrating the We have a chart demonstrating quarter and half past on an analog clock. Also, we can see some mini clocks samples that were used or that the students used rather to demonstrate their understanding of time. Finally, let's move on to our conclusion. By incorporating visual, auditory, and kinesthetic and other learning modalities, teachers can cater to all students, ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to thrive and achieve their full potential. This brings us to the end of the lesson. Thank you.